very interesting with this process. Um, what I'm going to do is very simple. Choose the color. If those of you who remember, we worked in this in Sano, we have these reactors, gas reactors, which are run by a motor and then connected to a power supply, current and voltage. What is interesting is that for those of you who haven't done these experiments, it doesn't mean anything. For those who have, it brings out a lot of reality into the whole process of understanding of the plasma and what they call photosynthesis. If you take a 24-hour cycle observing voltage and current, something very strange happens. If you go back into the presentation of Eindhoven, where I showed the ball with a lot of parachutes, I call it, and then we showed the fluctuation in the power, where during the night we produce more power than during the daytime. This should have cleared this to a lot of you, exactly what it is and how photosynthesis works. The photosynthesis comes through primarily and only through the operation of gravitational magnetic fields of the planet, and nothing to do with anything else. The rest of it is the process of conversion. Why does photosynthesis happen in the dark, at night, not the daytime? If you look at this voltage current, you see something very, very strange. If this is 0 to 12 hours lunchtime, and then you go back to 12 at night, and then you go back again to the lunchtime every 12 hours, something strange happens in your voltage current. The voltage stays the same in your power supply, but when it comes to night time, if this is the central line, your current dips to the maximum at PM, these are AMs, and then it picks back on. Very strange for a motor which carries the same weight, the same motor, the same current, should be a straight line like this one. This should be the voltage amperage use, because we haven't changed anything. We haven't changed any weight, we haven't changed anything else at all. But what we see drop in the amperage, starting from sunset to sunrise. Exactly what we showed in Eindhoven. In Eindhoven, we showed, and in the papers, and in the poll which have made, that the power production increases by 2 or 3 times during the night and the daytime. Why? If you look at this, what I call graph A and graph B. Graph A, as a scientist, as a researcher, tells you something very strange is happening. Because by law of physics, the power used to run a motor is, where am I? Why have I got to this trap now? Okay, the power used, what we call watt, is ampere times voltage. The power on this line should be constant because we haven't changed any weight to increase pressure on it, or we haven't reduced anything to decrease it. The only thing which changes is the day and night, which is the pressure of the sun, gravitational magnetic field, and the pressure of the earth, gravitational magnetic field. How come The power reduces at night time. As the sun sets, we see the dip. I have asked one of the research centers to plot this out themselves, because this is important for them as they're in the space development, in understanding how you can lift from a planet. What's the reason that they cannot get their flight system sorted out? Because they have to understand this concept. So what happens? Why does the power during the night time reduces? It's the same motor, but uses less energy, which means there is less pressure on the motor. There is a less pressure that it needs current, which means the sun gravitational magnetic field is withdrawn, and the earth gravitational magnetic field, in the absence of the sun, it can push further up. And in pushing further up, it takes weight off the motor, it takes weight of the plasma inside. The mystery is not the system, the mystery is this, the gas inside. Because it's in a plasma condition, because it's in gravitational magnetic field strength, the earth gravitational magnetic field strength touches it, so it has less weight to put pressure on the motor. When you run a system the way I do, it's very significant, because the body stays the same. During the daytime, you go to 100 milliamp. And at the night time, you come down to 85, 87 milliamp. It's nearly 20% difference. So what we see for the first time scientifically, we show we created a plasma which is what I call, if I can change the color that you can see it better, we created a plasma in this blue section, which now it has an intermediary of the sun and an intermediary of the earth gravitational magnetic field. And it's only a few centimeter, maybe 20 centimeter off the ground level. And then you change this to a leaf of a plant, which is dynamic. Then take your knowledge a step further. You've done all this, we should be visited with this by now. The stronger oxygen, the weaker strength carbon, the intermediary nitrogen. Is the gravitational magnetic field of the planet, which dictates which one is taken by the intermediary, and then which one is available to be released according to the pressures, gravitational magnetic field pressures. Then this changes all this video we have seen, because in this video we just seen, released by the American